have reached MBT's Daily Read channel, and we are still in this good old energy of Jupiter. Today is the 26th. And so let's see. Overall energy is Mars. Let me make sure. Yeah, overall energy is Mars for Aries. We're still in this we in a high vibration of Saturn, and the medium vibration is 11 and 2, which is the master intuitive number, right? And then you have the Pluto Scorpio energy. So let's see what's gonna come down for Jupiter right now. Hey, look at who that is. Saturn. So for those of you today in this Aries Mars energy, because remember Mars rules Aries anyway, so right now you're in a pretty decent comfortable energy, right? For Saturn to come down, pay attention to your 10th house, right? Pay attention to employers, authorities, elders, honor, profession, those type of things, but also your creative, creating stability, foundation, strong foundations, investments, things of that nature. Be creative, tap in, use your intuition, that kind of thing. And it sits up there in a high frequency. So with that being said, being that Mars is on Mars right now, let's see, I'm going to just use a, you know what, let me just go with my flow right now. Oh my goodness. Virgo pops out again, right? Dealing with this 6th house. It still speaks of profession, business, occupation, services, things of that nature. People with authority. There may be some Aries that have some high ranking positions in these areas. There may be some need for ruling over these particular areas. But we're going to look, because Virgo is just so busy popping out that Virgo might get put on the call out, because Virgo is like out here for some reason or another. So let's see what's going on in a high frequency with Saturn. And there may be some Aries here that have a nice little dominance in the Virgo, the Mercury energy, communication, things of that nature, right? So Aries who have some authority, you know, pay attention to these areas. Now let's see what else is going on here. Saturn. So you have, look at that, the Lovers. You have the Emperor and his element, and you have the 7 of Wands here, right? And so there is something going on here in this Capricorn energy. This could be Aries with some Capricorn, or you know, with a nice bit of Capricorn in their high frequency, right? There's something going on with not only just like twin flames, but strong partnerships, strong attractions. I see this Emperor energy here. This is matching this Aries Mars energy, and you know, one may feel like all is against a particular bond, relationship, partnership, something that comes with a strong connection. Especially, you know, make sure that this strong connection is not just physical also, because when you're dealing with Saturn, you're dealing with a Capricorn energy, and you're dealing with a very physical aspect, even though this is coming down in the major arcanas. You got 2 major arcanas, so this is things that move through the ethers but will manifest in physical reality. And just make sure that you are able to tap into both sides. This is probably why this 11 and 2 is here, right? Letting you know that, yeah, there may be strong physical attractions, strong attractions to particular partnerships, one wanting to rule over the feminine principle without them really knowing, right? And so that's why this masculine sits here. And, you know, also feeling like all is against one, you know, yet you're not entertaining it. So let's see what's going on in this 11 and 2. And it's not even that it's not being entertained. It's like, you know, in this particular deck, when you're dealing with the 7 of Wands, it's really like tap in. Put yourself in a frequency where all that would have been against you or feel like they can come against you, they can. And not in a cocky, egotistical way, you know. Remember, this is after the success, the 6 of Wands. So that's a lot of fire energy, but this Mercury energy comes up there too, right? Let's see what else is going on here. The 11 and 2. Also, again, Pay attention to authorities because you got this Saturn coming down here that may be moving a little bit creative. So when you're dealing with this Emperor, it does talk about an authoritarian kind of powerful energy. Here goes the Fool, the 11 and 2. Whoops. This is a lot of majors right now. You have the Empress here. And you have the 9 of Wands here. Okay, so first and foremost, when you're dealing with this Fool card, it's usually about, being new on a spiritual journey in a higher aspect. And, one that's in motion, one that's in movement, new creativity, new ideas, wanting to accomplish new things, wanting to get into new things. But it's definitely saying, like, follow your intuition. Now, where this is going, usually the Fool is going towards the left. This one right here is like hanging off the edge, but still has the rope on foundation that's strong, right? A risk taker to a degree. And here you have this Empress energy that discusses the house of Venus. It discusses being wealthy, healthy, stable, being able to produce, pregnancies, things of that nature. And then you have this 9 of Wands here where everything seems to be a bit of a battle. Battle was taking place, right? So we're going to look at this across the board in 11 to 2. Pay attention and follow your intuition through this Fool aspect into the Empress. You still have to get through the second major arcana, which has not, it didn't come up, but you would still have to get to that second major arcana in order to get to this, right? So now let's go ahead and look at what's going on down here in the lower frequency. And not, like I always say, don't look at it in a bad way, right? So we got the 7 of Swords. Here it goes again. Here goes the 3 of Wands. Here goes the 10 of Cups. All right. So first and foremost, again, when you're in the lower frequencies, things when it comes to regeneration, renewal, being compassionate, endings, things of that nature, is not moving the way this planet Pluto and Scorpio would usually move. Things are not happening. So therefore, you have the 7 of Swords. It doesn't necessarily have to be thievery. It could just be sneaky behavior that needs to change or needs to stop. It could also be a self-sabotaging kind of thing. But this is coming behind the back of this 3 of Wands that's focusing on the future and what they're going to do in the future next. Now, especially when it comes to family affairs and things like that. So there may be some negative energies dealing with Aries when it comes to family, love, generations coming down here. Things that have been planned and put out that somebody may be trying to steal. And remember, you're dealing with taxes and inheritance and things being passed down to individuals when you're dealing with this Pluto energy, right? So really, if you're looking from this part up, it's like, all right, self-sabotaging, hating kind of, sneaky kind of, conniving kind of energy, especially when it comes to people's ability to go on to new journeys, do it with warning and pay attention. And then, strong bonds and relationships that will come about in the higher frequency when you go on these new journeys. Now, when you're dealing with the 3 of Wands, right, this is contemplation, building, creating, working, coming up with ideas, acting on ideas with thought, though, right, to create this Empress energy and to, at some point, manifest or connect this Empress energy with this Emperor energy because they are, the matching set in the major arcanas. Here with this 10 of Cups down here, it's a discussion of things not changing the way that it should, happiness not coming about the way that it should, arguments, fights, battles that make one want to kind of isolate, stay to themselves, feeling like all is against them, right? So you look across this, the thievery here, this Empress, the 7 of Wands. The centerfold is the Empress here, and this is about, like I said, success, stability, strength, the ability to reproduce and to create, right? These might be things that may come with some sneaky conniving in the lower vibration when they see a person hit this energy. And Aries and Mars, you can definitely hit that energy, right? At any given moment, you could be in this energy. So this is why the discussion is use your intuition, follow your own gut. Don't let other people manipulate how you perceive your relationships, your partnerships, your business, whether you choose to stay away from certain individuals, whether you feel like you should stay in guard or keep your guard up or go to a battle about something that's important to you, right? Including your new journeys, and stay out of this 7 of Swords energy right here, this 3 of Wands, right? This is all to steal or corrupt. So let me see something. I'm going to throw one at the end of here. And I might throw one on Virgo. These are the things that have to change, though. Especially with this 7 here. Right, exactly. Whatever's coming down right here, let me bring it up here so you can see it. You got this 10 of Swords that comes here. And the 10 of Swords is about conflict and endings and backstabbing and feeling failed and having to come to the end with certain things. But even in the 10s, when it breaks down, and when it comes to renewals, the Ace of Swords can come out of this situation. The problem is somebody's trying to, in this lower frequency, cause these kinds of disruptions intentionally, wanting one to fail, right? Wanting one to be in this frequency right here. And this is why disconnecting new journeys may be necessary, right? New connections, new partnerships, new relationships may be necessary. So let me see. The High Priestess. So, the High Priestess, this is a discussion of, this energy right here today in this Mars kind of Aries kind of energy. For those of you who are dominant in some of these areas, right, this is a lot of fire on the board, but also pay attention to the fact that in this contemplation and planning, some things may happen or be planned in secret, and it may not be made very known, right? And this is why it's sitting right across from this 7 of Swords, this 10 of Swords, and that's the thing that's crazy. And then to have this 10 of Cups sitting right here. Let me see what's going on here. And if you pay attention, this 10 of Cups comes with children. The Empress can sometimes represent pregnancy. You can see this as a high frequency, and a high frequency, a twin flame path, possibly. So let's see what's going on here. The 8 of Cups. Yeah, there's some manipulation going on in the lower frequencies of Pluto and Scorpio that should not be taking place. This is a theft. This is a thievery. This is sabotaging. This is creating endings. This is making one hesitant, making it difficult to deal with one's intuition and tapping in clearly, dealing with family. This is one that kind of makes the energy walk away, even though you know how that go. It's change. Usually with the 8 of Cups, there's a return, and this return may bring one to this full concept here of going on a new journey, understanding the Empress energy, understanding how to be in the Empress energy, getting a little bit warish with it, willing to put in a little bit of a fight over this particular situation. After they walk off in this lower energy, they're gonna probably walk into something that brings them into their intuition and understand some things that are bringing them reconnected back, very possibly, depending on the vibration and the mindset of the Aries that's experiencing things like that. If it resonates, that's fine. But you may be another sign with a dominant Aries Mars in your chart that's bringing this individual to the twin flame, maturing this energy right here, and then making this energy want to separate from all that's against it. And there's nothing wrong with that either. It's a protective energy when in balance. But let me see what's going on with this Virgo over here. Because right now, under Mars, right, when you talk about Mars, you talk about temperament, but you also talk about war, aggressive energy, very competitive energy. And this is a discussion of dealing with occupations, services, illnesses, foods, small animals, things of that nature. And when we're in this Aries, let's see what's going on right there. All right, so some Aries may need to pay attention to these things, right? Think, pay attention, right? King of Cups, stay out of that water, okay? King of Swords. All right, so here there may be some masculines here, all right, that really need to pay attention. This water, fire energy, air, fire energy, right? You're understanding that if you are Aries, fine. You may have underlying water energies, underlying air energies. If you are not in Aries and you watching this, you have to, and you may be a water sign or an air sign, you would come as a masculine, you would come with an underlying fire energy, and it probably would be your Mars energy. Now, when you put all of this into play, there's a lot that needs to be thought about and planned out and contemplated on. One should not be moving in their emotions, right? And one should try to move with knowledge and information and try to keep action under control, right? Especially when dealing with Aries. Now, let me see if this is two different individuals coming up, or is this just another aspect of Aries? So, matter of fact, let's see. Is this just another? Are these two aspects of Aries? Let's just ask that. Let's see. So the Nine of Swords for the yes and no situation, right? The Nine of Swords lets you know that no, this is not just another aspect of Aries. So therefore, this may be several signs that may be in rotation or being affected by this Mars Aries energy, these water energies. Understand water and fire, if it's not in balance, causes a problem. And understand that air and fire, if not in balance, will also cause a problem, will cause stress and being overwhelmed and things of that nature. So pay attention to that, especially when it comes to business, your occupation, the services, foods, illnesses, and things like that. Pay attention to these things. And if you pay attention, in this deck, there's, small animals. Pay attention to that. Especially if you're at a distance, right? So anyway, let me see, what else do we need to look at here? Let's see where this Eight of Cups walk away to. Oh no. Yep, exactly. So you see this here, we got this King of Wands energy. We still back in this fire energy, if you can see it right here. And so in this lower frequency, the not tapping in, the not following your intuition, which is extremely important in this. This is why I'm saying stop, contemplate, think, focus, plan, get it together before you give the walk away. What are you walking away from, right? And what are you walking into? And this is not necessarily a bad thing, because these things create change regardless, whether people like it or not. So one may be walking into, losses and financial losses and things of that nature, and may walk in, if this is a feminine principle, may walk into this King of Wands double fire energy that comes with a lot of passion, love, strength, creativity, a nice hypersex drive if you're a female Aries, right? Because it's not just a masculine thing going on, but this is letting you know this is strong energy here, and it's about romance and creativity and new ideas and communication and things of that nature. So one may walk away into this, and even if you're a male, you may walk into another female that's very strong-minded in a fire principle and things of that nature. And there goes the new journey in the building, and the feeling that it's something to be guarded a little bit, and the creation of a twin flame path that brings physical stabilities and happiness and balance and structure, and one that's going to be a protector. So see, there's good that comes out of this low frequency of Pluto also moving through the middle frequencies, but it's still a discussion, most importantly, in this middle frequency, to make a choice of whether you're going to tap in and follow your own intuition and not be influenced by all and everything else around you in past experience. Follow your own intuition. In this lower frequency, one may not follow their intuition the way they should. All right, and because of it, they don't get to skip this part. But this part even brings something decent. Let me see something. So it's just like a life of learning experiences, right? It's not a bad thing. Exactly. And there's new communication that comes through after one experiences. So it's really just a choice of which road one wants to take. You want to take the easy route and just skip all of this lower frequency stuff, go through your middle frequency, use your intuition properly and get here? Or do you want to experience this lower frequency, go through the rough patches, get everything cleaned out, cleared out, restabilize, reconnect, communicate something, and the thing that's crazy is people can be in a lower frequency of Pluto and still be very positive thinkers and communicators and creators, right? Now, when one really is a low vibration, and I don't like to call people that, and I don't, But when one is really in a low vibration and you're dealing with this Pluto, you're dealing with theft, you're dealing with backstabbing, you're dealing with people plotting and planning, knowing things that they know and not disclosing it for the safety or the betterment of another individual, making people walk away from situations, walking away, family fights over finances and things of that nature, negative conversations and thoughts, communications and agreements and things like that create this overwhelming. So in all of these vibrations, you can understand that people can have positive and negative thoughts. The negative aspect I just told you, but the positive aspect is if you're going to think positive, bring positivity, even though you're experiencing these things right now based off of whatever choices or lack of intuition you chose to use at a particular time, you may bring in another energy that can bring in something decent. You got this 10 of Pentacles that flew out right here. You see that? That's wealth generation, generational wealth and health and stability, right? And somebody also in a lower vibration that's in a fire energy may be trying to block one from their generational wealth, health, and stability based off of certain things that's being communicated or that they are communicating in a negative manner. So pay attention to how it resonates with you. But let's look up here in this high frequency and Saturn, this nice partnership, destined partnership and things of that nature. Right, 5 of Cups. And this is what has to be paid attention to. Right? The Magician. How did I know the Magician was going to come out there, right? Because we already got the Fool out there. We already got the Empress out there. Now we have the Magician out there, right? So there is manipulation. There is manipulation. And in a higher frequency, one may be removed from a particular group of individuals that feel some type of way. And they may be in their feelings, but it's really to keep this 5 of Cups out of this person's energy and, to keep them from, all of this emotional turmoil. Because in this lower frequency, there is some backstabbing, two-faced, grimy behavior that's taking place for some people that's just negative thinkers, right? And Aries is a little bit warish and overbearing, and so it's important to stay in balance, okay? So anyway, and stay out of this stress energy, because if you put Aries, a fire sign like that, in this water, air energy, okay, you're going to get a stressed out individual, all right? So try to stay in balance with your emotions, your thoughts, and things of that nature, and your actions, especially when it comes to your occupation and services and things of that nature today. And outside of that, this Saturn, pay attention to reputation, honor, pay attention to the elders, pay attention to authorities. It's some creative energies that's moving. Matter of fact, just to be fair, let's look. Yeah, so pay attention. Partnerships, groups, there may be partners, opportunities for partnerships to create in this higher. You see that? This Saturn here. We have this Saturn here. All right, so you understand what's going on. These partnerships, okay? Partnerships, relationships, opportunities for new relationships. Some are going to go through the low frequencies, some are going to go through the medium frequencies, and some are already in the high frequency of it all. All right, deuces, smooches. See you on the next one.